Shriekfest Presents screening this year here at the New Art Theater. This is our first year doing this series here, and we thank you so much, especially to those who have come since the very first screening when we did Wes Craven's The People Under the Stairs in May. We have a whole great slate of films next year. Already we're working on them for you. You just saw the preview for the first one of 2018. Mark your calendars for Phantasm, remastered on Friday, January 26th at midnight. We have confirmation Reggie Bannister will be here for that one, and we'll try and get Don Coscarelli as well. He is a friend of the New Art, and he was here for opening night of John Dies at the End a few years ago, so we hope we can welcome him back here for that one as well. As for other movies we're going to play next year, do give us your suggestions, but we have a great slate. All I can tell you at this point is Jamie Lee Curtis stars in about half of them, but we hope to get those announced in the near future. All right, so tonight first we're going to do the giveaways. For those of you who've been coming to this, we do some trivia. Just raise your hand if you know the answer to these. We have three mothers gift packs tonight. They're all approved by the three mothers, and they contain different prizes and swag from different Shriekfest sponsors and friends. This will be really easy. For the Art Deco Mater Suspiriorum prize pack, who can tell me the English translation of the name Mater Suspiriorum? Right over here. Sighs, the mother of sighs. That is correct. You can come up. Okay, so for you, we have one of our rare, these are now out, the new Shriekfest Suspiria postcard. We have a t-shirt for a film called Human Resources, which played at Shriekfest a few years ago. We have a book, Exorcising My Demons, written by Eileen Dietz, who was Captain Howdy in The Exorcist, and this is her life story. It's also autographed by Eileen. And finally, we have a mini Suspiria lobby card replication. Later Suspiriorum for you. All right, next we'll do the Mater Lacrimarum prize. And excuse me for getting the Latin names wrong. Right. But who can tell me the English translation of her name? Mother of Tears is correct. And please come up. The Mother of Tears, by the way, was the first film I ever saw at the New Art after I moved to LA. And for you, we have the Suspiria postcard. We have a t-shirt for Ditch People, which played at Shriekfest and looks very Chud-esque. We have another signed novel called Hoarder, autographed by Armando D. Munoz. Some of you may also know that that's me. So I hope you enjoy this. By the way, the last issue of Fangoria, before they went under, reviewed this and called it Dynamite, a sickening imaginative shocker. So hopefully you'll enjoy that. It is autographed. And another Suspiria mini lobby card. Enjoy your Mother of Tears. Okay, for the final, Mater Tenebranum prize pack, and her name does translate to the Mother of Darkness. But on these three mothers, who can tell me who is the oldest and wisest of the three mothers? Okay, right up here.
Mother of Sighs.
The Mother of Sighs, Suspiriorum, is correct. All right, please come up. So for you, we have every Shriekfest Presents postcard that we've done here for the New Art this year. People Under the Stairs, Poltergeist, Halloween 2, Return to the Living Dead, and Suspiria. We have an excellent t-shirt for Murder Burger. Murder Burger. You gotta see this one. We have another signed novel. This one is called Turkey Day, appropriately enough, this week. Also written by, oh look, Armando D. Munoz, that's me. And it is autographed. It's super, oh yeah, I'll take a picture. And then mini lobby card for Suspiria. And your Mater Tenebranum prize pack. Thank you very much. All done to me. And Denise Gossett, she runs Shriekfest. She started the festival back in 2000, I believe. And she's still running this festival strong. I know there's a lot of friends of Denise here tonight. She wishes she could be here. All right, now I want to welcome up one of the stars of Suspiria, the woman who plays one of the film's most memorable characters, and possibly my favorite character of the film, Olga. Please welcome Barbara Magnolfi.
Where do I sit? Here?
Yeah, that's good.
Okay. Hello.
Hey.
Hey, Barbara. Hey.
Thank you so much, Barbara, for coming out and joining us tonight for this screening. I know you've been very supportive of this restoration and the multiple screenings that have been happening around, and we do welcome you and are very excited to have you here tonight with us.
Thank you very much. It's a pleasure.
So I'll start this off with a few questions myself, and then I'll do some audience questions. And first, I want to say that Olga is one of the coolest and most quotable mean girls in horror cinema. She is so fashionably catty and viciously gossipy, and I think she has been quite an influence. And I have to wonder, because of just the kind of character she is, have you noticed, or do you have an exceptionally large fan base of either gay men or catty mean girls?
I actually do. Especially girls, you know, that follow in the steps of Olga, with that kind of look, you know, and that kind of cheeky behavior, and you know. But it's true. I discovered that I also have a lot of gay fans. I didn't know, you know. But you know, Olga, I guess, you know.
Yeah, maybe it is more apparent now than it was when the film was first released.
Yeah.
But I mean, honestly, when I watch, if you were to like watch Suspiria and then an episode of RuPaul's Drag Race back to back, every queen on that show is doing an Olga. They talk like her, they act like her, they walk like her, they dress like her, and I think they owe Olga a great, you know, a thank you for that. Whether or not they realize it or not, you know, you and Olga were like a trendsetter. So.
Oh wow, yeah, it's true. Actually, it's true. When the movie came out, for me it was like such a complete change, you know, from being, you know, working actress to when Suspiria came out, and it was crazy. It was totally crazy, you know. I was shooting another movie, and the chauffeur was picking me up in the morning, and it was like you know, I had to be on set very early because of whatever I was doing. And so it was 4 o'clock in the morning, and I get down to be picked up, right, to go on set. And as I walk out of my front door, you know, downstairs, is like a sea of paparazzi. This is what happened with Suspiria when the movie came out. And I couldn't even get out. I couldn't even get to the car, you know.
Well,
so it's very funny. You know, they talked more about my character than than all the other ones. It's true. No, it's true. It's true. It was a lot of Olga. It's Olga.
Yeah, she's very quotable, very memorable.
Well, thank you.
Let me find my notes. Okay, this second question before we open it up to the audience. So this is a minor spoiler, but this is a 40-year-old film. And so I think it's safe to discuss this up here on the stage. Olga is one of the few characters, one of the few young women in this film who is not horribly mutilated and makes it to the end of this movie. And I have to wonder, do you ever think, what is Olga doing today? And would you be interested in ever being Olga again?
Oh, wow. Well, in a way, I am still Olga, right? In a way, I'd love to play a character like that. Obviously, again.
I think the fans would agree. We would love to see another Olga.
Like that. I mean, not exactly like, because I'm a little older now, but Olga was kind of a witch.
Yeah.
So.
And you still have the fashion. You
Yeah.
still have the attitude. We definitely want to see more of Olga.
See.
So I want to open this up to the audience before we start the movie. So raise your hand if you have a question for Barbara. Right up here.
What was the strangest or quirkiest thing that happened on Suspiria? We know Argento he's kind of not necessarily a people person, but he's an incredible director. But what are some of the quirky things or strange things, if you can remember, that happened during the filming?
Strange things?
Yeah, anything.
Spooky things?
Spooky things or funny, goofy, whatever.
Dario directing or anything?
Yep.
Okay. So, there were lots of things happening on set, which, Dario doesn't believe in witches and stuff like that, right? But at the end of the film, he almost wondered if it had something to do with it. Like the camera wouldn't record, the film wouldn't break, there was nothing. Things will fall off, like we're about to shoot a scene, and there was a sense of, there was kind of it started raining, and this thing just fell off, boom, and it's a miracle it didn't kill anyone, actually. But things like that happen all along the movie.
Very cool.
Also, the other people, I don't know what other people experienced, right? But there was a sense of something almost mystic going on set.
Very cool.
Yeah, it was kind of. And then, there's many stories about the way Dario directed, and which is actually quite interesting, quite genius.
Whether or not Dario believes in witches or the supernatural, he can tap into it in a very visual and vital way. And whether he realizes it or not, I think he can create dark magic. That's just my own.
He does. He's a master at that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And suspense as well.
Absolutely. Any other questions out there?
Yes.
Go ahead.
Who would you have voted for in the 2016 election?
Has nothing to do with anything.
I can't vote in America.
I think the elections is more scary than anything we're going to watch tonight. Any other questions? Oh, over here.
Right, so Goblin plays such a big role in Darge's career. Can you talk a little bit about what you remember about Goblin?
I remember very well. I met Claudio particularly, but all of them. But Claudio was when Dario was doing the editing of the film. Claudio came in and I came in and we watched, and I watched them work together, and we've been longtime friends ever since, actually. So it was very interesting, like the way they worked, and the soundtrack is so totally part of the story, you know? It makes, it makes the movie what it is, you know.
We're gonna play this loud tonight.
Yeah. And that has also been restored, by the way. Yeah.
For those who don't know, Goblin still tours and plays.
Yeah,
There's
absolutely.
they were in LA about 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, and they play Suspiria live.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I saw the YouTube video.
Yeah.
Any other questions?
I have
Go ahead.
did any of like the actors, including yourself, like ever hang out behind the scenes, like go to clubs or like concerts or anything like that? I mean, it's the 70s, so I assume.
Me and Stefania Casini, and a couple of others, Miguel Bosé, right? We're trying to get Jessica Harper to go out and party, you know, with us. But she was very shy, like she's in the movie, you know. She was very reserved, very nice, you know, polite, but you know, she came a couple of times. I remember at Stefania Casini's house in Rome, but that's as far as it went with Jessica, you know. But we didn't really party, but you know, we would get together and you know, maybe at one of the actors' house and you know, hang out together. But it didn't work out very well with Jessica, as I said.
Any more questions? Yeah, right over here.
Can you tell us a bit about Dario's method of directing actors?
Yeah. Well, what impressed me about Dario is that he didn't talk to you much. He would come, you know, and observe everything. So at one point, you know, we were about to shoot the scene in my apartment, and I was dressed up, makeup done, and everything. And usually he would come in my, you know, dressing room to check out if everything was cool. And that day he came, and he looks at me, and he's like, "Who did your makeup?" I'm like, "The makeup artist, Dario." I mean, you know, as usual. And he wouldn't talk much, right? But he would look at you, and it's like, you know something is wrong when Dario looks at you that way. So I was like, he says to me, "I want you to do the makeup like Olga does the makeup." And for a moment I didn't quite get what he was, you know, I didn't quite get it. And then I said, okay. And he left. So I went in front of the mirror, and I'm thinking of what he said, like makeup as Olga would do it. And I was hesitant, you know, I didn't want to take off the makeup that the makeup artist did. But so I started doing my makeup as Olga. And in that moment, I completely got into character. And then he came back, like maybe 10 minutes, 5 minutes later, right? He looks at me, he said, "Okay, let's go." So that was, you know, was a very cool way not to direct you, but to direct you, you know, to help you without making you wrong or without, you know, doing much. He helped, you know. I thought that was a genius thing to do, to just, you know, get me into character fully. So that's Dario.
He brought Olga out of you,
That's
but
right.
you also brought it out of you too. So
Yeah.
it's definitely a collaborative effort. We have time for one more question before we start the film. Right up here.
Barbara, do you remember if there are any scenes that were shot that were not used in the finished film?
Not quite. I know that I had a long scene that was supposed to be shot, but was never shot. I don't know.
What might that entail? That scene?
That scene was, well, I was supposed to dance when they all go to the ballet, the Bolshoi ballet at the end, and Jessica is, discovering things. I was supposed to dance because I was like, in the film, I'm last year of the academy student, so I'm already graduated. Yeah, dance academy. So I was supposed to be, dancing, and I actually trained for 3 months before to do the ballet, which never got shot because Dario thought would take off from the suspense at the end, which I agree. It would have taken off from the.
I'd like to hear about it.
Yeah. So that I know was in the script, but didn't get.
We would have loved seeing Olga throw some shapes on the dance floor. But we can all imagine that.
Okay.
So I want to thank you, Barbara, for joining us tonight. I believe you're going to stick around for the movie, so
I think so.
if she does, she'll have some stills and posters for sale in the lobby, and you can speak with her afterwards. One more question?
One more. So,
Go ahead.
I guess as fans, we know that Dario was notorious for, putting on those black gloves and being hands-on. Can you think of a moment during Suspiria when a similar situation happened?
Where? I didn't quite get the question.
I think it's due to the fact that Dario usually wore the black gloves of his killers in his films and played
He did the
the hands.
He does the hand.
Did you have any?
I didn't have any experience with that, but I think in the taxi, there's a hand. There's the hand.
That was Dario?
Dario's hand.
He did all those things.
Dario's hand. He likes to kill himself.
I think Dario might be a hand fetishist the way Quentin Tarantino is a foot fetishist, but maybe that's why he's always a part of movies like that. Well, thanks for joining us, Barbara. In just one moment, we will start the 4K restoration of Suspiria. Thanks again for coming out and making 2017 such a great year here at the New Art. And please join us again in 2018, starting with Phantasm Remastered. Thank you.